The Friendship Forest, Chapter 1. Chapter 1. A Cry for Help. In the heart of the lush green forest, the morning sun filtered through the canopy, casting dappled patterns on the forest floor. It was a place where the air was filled with the sweet scent of pine, and the gentle rustle of leaves whispered secrets of old. This was Sammy the squirrel's home, a realm of towering trees and winding trails that he knew as well as the back of his paw. Sammy sat perched on a sturdy branch of his favorite oak tree, his bushy tail wrapped around him like a warm blanket. He watched the other animals play in the clearing below, a lively game of tag between the rabbits and a family of deer leaping gracefully through the underbrush. Yet, despite the vibrant life around him, Sammy felt a twinge of loneliness. He loved his forest dearly, but often found himself on the sidelines, observing rather than participating. With a sigh, Sammy turned his attention back to his task at hand, gathering acorns. Each one he collected was carefully inspected and stored away in his little nook within the oak tree. It was a routine he found comforting, a small piece of order in his otherwise unpredictable world. Just as he was about to tuck another acorn into his stash, a sound broke through the symphony of forest noises, a soft, plaintive cry. Sammy's ears perked up, twitching as they honed in on the source. It was faint, but unmistakable. Someone was in trouble. Curiosity piqued, and concern overriding his usual caution, Sammy scampered down from his perch. His tiny paws deftly navigated the rough bark as he descended to the forest floor. The cries grew louder, guiding him deeper into the thicket where light struggled to penetrate. There, nestled among the roots of a great elm, lay Bella the bird. Her small body was quivering slightly. Her wings splayed awkwardly, as if she had been caught mid-flight and then dropped by some unseen force. "Bella!" Sammy exclaimed, approaching cautiously. He had seen her before, flitting about with her family high above in the trees, but now she seemed so small and vulnerable. Bella lifted her head weakly at his approach, her eyes bright but filled with worry. I fell," she chirped softly, her voice trembling like a leaf in the wind. Sammy felt a surge of determination swell within him. He knew what it was like to feel alone and helpless. "Don't worry, Bella," he said gently, his voice steady with reassurance. "We'll find a way together." He moved closer, offering her what comfort he could with his presence. "Can you tell me what happened?" Bella took a shaky breath, her feathers ruffling slightly as she tried to compose herself. "I was practicing my flying when a strong gust came out of nowhere. It knocked me off balance, and before I knew it, I was tumbling down." Sammy nodded, understanding all too well how capricious the forest winds could be. He glanced upward at the towering trees that seemed to reach for the sky itself. Bella's nest would be up there somewhere. A daunting height for one so small and grounded, but Sammy had never been one to shy away from a challenge. He puffed out his chest slightly, trying to exude confidence he wasn't entirely sure he felt. "We can do this," he insisted, more to himself than anyone else. "Let's get you back to your nest." Bella looked at him with gratitude shining in her eyes. "Thank you, Sammy," she murmured. "I didn't know what I was going to do." As they sat there together beneath the ancient elm, Sammy felt a warmth spreading through him that had nothing to do with the sun filtering through the leaves above. It was a sense of purpose, a feeling that perhaps this day would be different from all those before it. He helped Bella onto his back, her tiny talons gripping gently onto his fur as he stood upright. Though she was light as a feather, Sammy moved slowly and deliberately, careful not to jostle her further. Their journey back toward Bella's nest would not be an easy one. Sammy knew that much. But as they set off through the forest, two unlikely companions united by circumstance, he couldn't help but feel that this was only the beginning of something far greater than himself. In that moment, Sammy realized that sometimes it takes more than just watching from afar to truly be part of something wonderful. Sometimes it takes answering a cry for help and daring to make a difference. And so, with renewed determination and Bella's gentle weight on his back, Sammy ventured forth into the heart of Friendship Forest, ready to face whatever lay ahead, and perhaps even make a few new friends along the way. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Gathering Friends. The morning light danced across the forest floor as Sammy and Bella made their way through the underbrush. The path ahead was dappled with sunlight, casting playful shadows that seemed to leap alongside them. Sammy's mind was a whirl of thoughts and plans, each more ambitious than the last. He knew he couldn't help Bella reach her nest alone, but he was determined to try. As they trudged through the woods, the soft crunch of leaves underfoot was interrupted by a familiar, slow voice. "Where are you two headed in such a hurry?" It was Toby the Turtle, emerging from a patch of ferns with his usual unhurried grace. Sammy paused, shifting Bella gently on his back. "Toby, just the friend we need," he said with a smile. "Bella's fallen from her nest, and we need to get her back up there." Toby nodded sagely, his eyes narrowing in thought. "A task like that requires careful planning and a steady hand," he observed, his voice as deliberate as his movements. Just then, a rustle came from a nearby thicket, and out bounded Lily the rabbit, her ears twitching with curiosity. "What's going on here? I heard something about an adventure," she exclaimed, her eyes bright with excitement. Sammy chuckled at Lily's enthusiasm. "Bella needs our help getting back to her nest," he explained once more. "We could use some of your quick thinking, Lily." Lily's nose twitched as she considered the situation. "Well, why didn't you say so sooner? This sounds like the perfect opportunity for us to work together." With their small group now assembled, they sat in a circle beneath the towering trees, ready to brainstorm. Bella nestled comfortably among them, grateful for the company and support. Toby spoke first, his voice calm and measured. "We could build something, a ladder perhaps, to help Bella climb back up." Lily bounced in place, her mind racing with possibilities. "Or maybe we could find a way to give her a lift, like flying without wings." Sammy listened intently, appreciating the diverse perspectives of his friends. Their ideas flowed freely, each one sparking new thoughts and possibilities. As they talked, laughter bubbled up among them, a shared joy in their collective creativity. The brainstorming session soon turned into a lively debate, with each friend contributing their unique strengths. Toby's wisdom provided grounding and structure to their plans, while Lily's exuberance kept the energy high and the ideas flowing. Amidst the chatter and laughter, Sammy felt a deep sense of belonging. Here were friends who cared, who were willing to join him on this unexpected journey. It was a feeling that warmed him from the inside out. As they continued to discuss their options, Sammy noticed Bella watching them with a mixture of hope and gratitude. Her presence served as a reminder of their purpose, a shared mission that bound them together. Finally, after much deliberation, they reached a consensus. Toby's suggestion of building a ladder seemed the most feasible option, but with modifications inspired by Lily's imaginative flair. They would gather sticks and leaves to create a sturdy structure that could safely elevate Bella back to her nest. With their plans set, they each took on tasks suited to their abilities. Toby would oversee the gathering of materials, using his keen eye for detail to ensure everything was just right. Lily would scout for the best sticks and leaves, her nimble feet making quick work of the search. Sammy would coordinate their efforts, ensuring everyone worked in harmony. It was a role he relished, bringing together different talents to achieve a common goal. As they set off on their respective tasks, Sammy felt a newfound confidence in their endeavor. The forest around them seemed to hum with anticipation, as if it too was eager to see what they would accomplish. And so, with friends by his side and a plan in motion, Sammy embraced the challenge ahead. The path might be uncertain, but together they were unstoppable, a team united by friendship and purpose. In that moment, he realized that sometimes the greatest adventures begin not with grand gestures or heroic deeds, but with simple acts of kindness and collaboration. As they worked together beneath the canopy of Friendship Forest, Sammy couldn't help but feel that this was only the beginning of something truly magical. A journey that would teach them all about trust, teamwork, and the power of friendship. And so they labored on, their laughter echoing through the trees, as they prepared to turn their plan into reality, one stick and leaf at a time. Chapter 3. A Plan in Motion. The sun was reaching its zenith, casting a warm golden glow over the forest as Sammy and his friends embarked on their mission to build a ladder for Bella. The air was filled with the earthy scent of leaves and the gentle rustle of the wind whispering through the trees. Sammy felt invigorated by the task ahead, knowing that he wasn't alone in this endeavor. As they worked, a new voice joined the fray, bursting with energy and excitement. Emberly the Chipmunk bounded into the clearing, her eyes wide with curiosity and her cheeks stuffed with acorns. "What's all this about an adventure?" she squeaked, her enthusiasm infectious. Sammy greeted her with a wave. "Emberly, just in time. We're building a ladder to help Bella get back to her nest." Emberly's eyes sparkled with mischief. "A ladder? That sounds like fun. Let's make it an adventure." She darted around them, her movements quick and playful, turning the task into a lively game. With Emberly's arrival, the group took on a new dynamic. Her boundless energy was contagious, infusing their efforts with a sense of playfulness and excitement. She dashed around the clearing, gathering sticks and leaves with a speed that left even Lily impressed. "Wow, Emberly, you're like a whirlwind," Lily laughed, her ears twitching as she watched Emberly's antics. Emberly paused just long enough to flash a grin. "I like to think of it as efficient," she said cheekily, before diving back into her work. As they continued to gather materials, Sammy marveled at how naturally their group had come together. Each friend brought something unique to the table: Toby's wisdom, Lily's creativity, Emberly's energy, and together they formed a cohesive unit. Their dialogue flowed easily as they worked, filled with laughter and light-hearted banter. Toby offered gentle guidance, ensuring they stayed on track, while Lily and Emberly exchanged ideas for making the ladder both functional and fun. "Maybe we could decorate it with flowers," Lily suggested, her eyes alight with inspiration. Emberly nodded enthusiastically. "And acorns. Lots of acorns." Sammy chuckled at their enthusiasm. "As long as it holds together, I'm all for it," he said, his heart swelling with pride at their teamwork. Under Toby's watchful eye, they began assembling their ladder. It was a patchwork creation of sticks and leaves, carefully woven together to form a sturdy structure. Each piece was placed with care, guided by Toby's steady hand and Lily's keen eye for detail. Emberly darted back and forth, adding finishing touches and keeping spirits high with her infectious laughter. Even Bella joined in where she could, her small beak deftly tying knots with strands of grass. As they worked, the forest seemed to come alive around them. Birds chirped overhead, offering encouragement with their melodious songs, while squirrels paused in their foraging to watch the spectacle unfold. Despite their best efforts, there were moments of hilarity and mishap. A stack of sticks toppled over unexpectedly, sending Lily tumbling into a pile of leaves with a surprised squeal. Emberly tripped over her own tail more than once, giggling as she picked herself up each time. But through it all, they persevered, united by their shared goal and buoyed by each other's company. With every stick placed and every knot tied, their creation took shape, a testament to their friendship and determination. By the time the sun began its descent toward the horizon, casting long shadows across the forest floor, their ladder was nearly complete. It stood proudly in the clearing, a whimsical yet sturdy creation that bore the mark of each friend who had contributed to its making. Sammy stepped back to admire their handiwork, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction settle over him. They had done it, together, and though there was still work to be done before Bella could safely return to her nest, he knew they would face whatever challenges lay ahead with courage and camaraderie. "Looks like we're almost there," Toby remarked, his voice tinged with quiet pride. Lily nodded, bouncing on her toes with excitement. "We did it! I can't believe we actually did it!" Emberly grinned from ear to ear, her cheeks puffed out with acorns once more. "I knew we could do it. We're unstoppable." Bella chirped softly from her perch atop Sammy's shoulder, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you all so much," she said earnestly. "I couldn't have asked for better friends." As they stood together in the fading light, surrounded by the fruits of their labor, Sammy felt a warmth spread through him that had nothing to do with the setting sun. It was a feeling of belonging, a sense that he was part of something greater than himself. And so, with their plan in motion and their spirits high, Sammy and his friends prepared for the final steps of their journey, a journey that had already taught them so much about trust, teamwork, and the power of friendship. As they gathered around their creation one last time before nightfall, Sammy knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, united by bonds forged through laughter and shared purpose. And as the first stars began to twinkle overhead, he felt certain that this was only the beginning of many more adventures to come. Adventures filled with friendship, discovery, and joy in the heart of Friendship Forest. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Lessons from Above. As the sun began its slow descent beyond the horizon, painting the sky with hues of amber and indigo, Sammy and his friends gathered around their newly constructed ladder. The structure stood tall and proud, a testament to their combined efforts and creativity. Yet, as they admired their work, a shadow passed overhead, a silent sentinel observing from above. Callan the owl, with his majestic wings spread wide, swooped down gracefully from the canopy. His presence was both calming and commanding, a reminder of the wisdom that comes with age and experience. He settled on a low branch nearby, his large eyes reflecting the fading light like twin moons. "Good evening, young ones," Callan greeted them, his voice deep and resonant. "I see you have been busy." Sammy nodded, feeling a mix of pride and apprehension under the owl's gaze. "We built a ladder to help Bella get back to her nest," he explained, gesturing toward their creation. "But we want to make sure it's safe." Callan surveyed the ladder with a critical eye, his head tilting slightly as he considered their handiwork. "A noble endeavor," he acknowledged, his tone thoughtful. "But remember, haste can sometimes lead to oversight. Have you considered all possibilities?" His words hung in the air, a gentle reminder that even the best-laid plans can benefit from reflection and refinement. Sammy exchanged glances with his friends, each of them absorbing Callan's advice in their own way. Toby was the first to speak, his voice steady and contemplative. "Perhaps we should test it before Bella climbs," he suggested, his eyes meeting Callan's with quiet determination. Lily nodded in agreement, her ears twitching as she considered their options. "We could try adding more support to make it sturdier," she offered, her mind already racing with ideas. Emberly bounced in place, her energy undiminished even as dusk settled around them. "And we can make it even more fun. Maybe add some extra steps or decorations." Bella chirped softly from her perch on Sammy's shoulder, her small beak curving into a smile. "I trust you all," she said warmly. "Whatever you decide, I know it'll be great." Callan watched their exchange with quiet approval, his presence a steadying influence on the group. "Patience and careful consideration are virtues worth cultivating," he advised gently. "Take your time and think through each step." As they pondered Callan's words, another figure emerged from the shadows, a sleek shape moving with fluid grace through the underbrush. Lennox Jean the fox joined them, his amber eyes gleaming with curiosity and mischief. "What's this I hear about an adventure?" Lennox asked, his voice smooth and inviting as he approached. "I do love a good story." Sammy grinned at Lennox's arrival, feeling a sense of completeness now that their circle was whole. "We're helping Bella get back to her nest," he explained once more, gesturing toward their ladder. Lennox nodded appreciatively, his tail flicking with interest. "Ah, an admirable quest indeed," he mused, "and every quest needs a tale to accompany it." Settling down beside Callan, Lennox began to weave a story, his words painting vivid pictures of past forest adventures filled with daring feats and clever solutions. His voice was rich and melodic, drawing them into a world where anything was possible if one only dared to dream. As Lennox spoke, Sammy felt his earlier apprehensions melt away, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose and camaraderie. The fox's tales reminded him that every challenge was an opportunity for growth and learning, that even when things seemed uncertain, there was always a way forward. With newfound resolve, Sammy turned to his friends. "Let's take another look at our ladder," he suggested. "We can make it even better." Together, they approached their creation once more, this time with fresh eyes and open minds. Under Callan's watchful gaze and Lennox's encouraging stories, they worked methodically to reinforce the structure. Toby inspected each joint carefully, ensuring everything was secure and stable. Lily added extra supports where needed, her nimble fingers weaving leaves and vines into intricate patterns that strengthened the ladder while adding beauty. Emberly darted around them like a whirlwind, her laughter ringing out as she added playful touches. Acorns here, flowers there, transforming their functional creation into something truly special. Bella watched from her vantage point on Sammy's shoulder, her heart swelling with gratitude for these friends who had come together to help her in her time of need. As they worked side by side beneath the darkening sky, Sammy felt an overwhelming sense of belonging, a connection forged through shared purpose and understanding. Callan observed their efforts with quiet satisfaction before offering one final piece of advice. Remember that every sound tells a story, and every mistake is a lesson waiting to be learned. His words resonated deeply within Sammy's heart, a reminder that life was not about avoiding mistakes, but embracing them as opportunities for growth. With their ladder now reinforced and ready for use, Sammy and his friends stepped back to admire their handiwork once more. It stood tall against the backdrop of twilight, a symbol of friendship and determination crafted by many hands working together toward a common goal. As night fell over Friendship Forest, casting stars across its canopy like scattered diamonds, Sammy knew that whatever challenges lay ahead would be met with courage and unity. For in this place, where laughter echoed through trees like whispers on wind, where wisdom flowed from ancient souls, where stories spun magic into everyday moments, he had found something truly extraordinary. A family bound not by blood, but by bonds forged through kindness. A home built not on land, but within hearts connected by love. A journey begun not alone, but alongside those who dared dream big dreams together. And so, with lessons learned from above guiding their way, Sammy ventured forth into new adventures yet untold. Chapter 5. Challenges and Compromises. The morning sun rose gently over Friendship Forest, casting golden rays that kissed the leaves with warmth. Sammy awoke with a sense of anticipation buzzing in his chest. Today was the day they would help Bella return to her nest, a task that had brought them all together and forged their newfound friendships. As he scampered down from his cozy nook in the oak tree, Sammy felt the cool earth beneath his paws, a reminder of the day's promise and potential. He met his friends at the clearing, where their ladder stood, a testament to their hard work and cooperation. Bella was perched nearby, her eyes bright with hope. "Are we ready to try?" she asked, her voice a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Sammy nodded confidently, though a small knot of worry twisted in his stomach. "We are," he assured her, glancing at the ladder. "We've worked hard on this. It'll hold." Toby, Lily, Emberly, and Lennox gathered around, each wearing expressions of determination and camaraderie. Callan watched from a branch above, his silent presence offering reassurance. With a collective breath, they prepared for Bella's ascent. Sammy guided her to the base of the ladder, his heart thumping in rhythm with the rustling leaves overhead. The forest seemed to hold its breath as Bella began her climb, her tiny talons gripping each step carefully. But as she neared the top, disaster struck. The ladder wobbled under her weight, creaking ominously before collapsing in a tangle of sticks and leaves. Bella fluttered to the ground in a flurry of feathers, unharmed but shaken. A collective gasp escaped the group as they rushed to her side. "Bella, are you okay?" Sammy asked urgently, his heart pounding with concern. Bella nodded, ruffling her feathers as she regained her composure. "I'm fine," she chirped softly, though her eyes were wide with surprise. Frustration simmered among them as they surveyed the ruined ladder. Their hard work lay scattered across the forest floor, a reminder of their failure. Lily stamped her foot in frustration. "I thought we had it right this time," she exclaimed, her ears drooping slightly. Toby sighed deeply, his usual calm demeanor strained by disappointment. "Perhaps we overlooked something important," he mused aloud. Emberly frowned, her boundless energy momentarily dampened by the setback. "I was so sure it would work," she murmured, kicking at a stray leaf. Lennox shook his head, his tail flicking thoughtfully. "Every story has its twists and turns," he said philosophically. "This is just another chapter in our adventure." Callan descended from his perch, his wings rustling softly as he landed beside them. "Remember what I said? Every mistake is a lesson," he reminded them gently. "What can we learn from this?" His words prompted a moment of introspection among the group as they pondered what had gone wrong and how they might fix it. Sammy felt a surge of determination rise within him, a resolve not to let this setback defeat them. "We need to figure out what went wrong and make it better," he declared firmly. Lily nodded in agreement, her ears perking up with renewed focus. "Maybe we need stronger connectors," she suggested thoughtfully. Emberly brightened at the idea, her natural enthusiasm rekindled by the prospect of a new plan. "I have some shiny treasures back at my den," she exclaimed excitedly. "We could use them to hold everything together." Toby considered the suggestion carefully before nodding approvingly. "That might just work," he agreed slowly. With renewed hope and unity guiding their efforts, they set about gathering materials for their improved ladder, this time incorporating Emberly's treasures into their design. Under Callan's watchful eye and Lennox's encouraging stories, they worked diligently to reinforce each joint and connection, ensuring that every piece was secure and stable. As they labored together beneath the dappled sunlight filtering through the canopy above, laughter once again echoing through Friendship Forest, Sammy felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for these friends who had come together despite adversity. And as dusk approached once more, casting long shadows across their creation, they stepped back to admire their handiwork anew. A ladder built not just from sticks or leaves, but strengthened by compromise. A structure held together not merely by connectors, but bound by bonds forged through understanding. In that moment, surrounded by friends who had taught him so much about trust, united by shared purpose, guided by lessons learned from challenges faced together, Sammy knew that whatever lay ahead would be met with courage. For here, in this place where dreams took flight on wings woven from laughter, he had found something truly extraordinary. A family built not just on shared goals, but bound together through love. A journey begun not alone, but alongside those who dared dream big dreams together. And so, with hearts lightened by hope renewed, they prepared for one final attempt. As night fell over Friendship Forest, casting stars across its canopy like scattered diamonds, Sammy knew that whatever challenges lay ahead would be met with courage and unity. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. Reaching New Heights. The morning sun peeked through the dense foliage of Friendship Forest, casting a warm glow over the clearing where Sammy and his friends had gathered. Today was the day they would make their final attempt to help Bella return to her nest, a task that had not only challenged them, but also brought them closer together. Sammy stood at the base of their newly reinforced ladder, his heart beating with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The structure now gleamed with Emberly's shiny treasures, small, reflective trinkets that caught the light and added a touch of magic to their creation. "Are we ready?" Sammy asked, looking around at his friends. Toby nodded sagely, Lily bounced in place with anticipation, Emberly grinned with her usual energy, Lennox flashed a reassuring smile, and Callan watched from his perch above, offering silent support. Bella fluttered to Sammy's side, her eyes bright with hope. "Let's give it another try," she chirped, her voice steady despite the previous day's setback. With a collective breath, the group prepared for Bella's ascent once more. Sammy guided her to the ladder's base, offering words of encouragement. "You can do this, Bella. We're right here with you." As Bella began her climb, the forest seemed to hold its breath, the usual chatter of birds and rustle of leaves momentarily silenced by the anticipation of success. Her talons gripped each step carefully, testing the stability of their construction. The ladder held firm under her weight, each shiny connector glinting in the sunlight like tiny stars guiding her way. Halfway up, Bella paused, glancing back at her friends with a mixture of gratitude and determination. "It's holding," she called down, her voice filled with excitement. Sammy felt a surge of pride at their accomplishment. They had faced challenges and setbacks, but through compromise and collaboration, they had created something strong and beautiful, a testament to their friendship and perseverance. As Bella reached the top of the ladder, a cheer erupted from below. Lily clapped her paws together in delight. Toby nodded with quiet satisfaction. Emberly jumped up and down with glee, and Lennox wagged his tail in approval. Even Callan hooted softly from his perch, acknowledging their success. With one final push, Bella spread her wings and fluttered to her nest, nestled high in the branches above. She landed gracefully, her small body silhouetted against the sky as she looked down at her friends with shining eyes. "Thank you all so much." She called down to them, her voice filled with emotion. "I couldn't have done it without you." Sammy beamed up at her, his heart swelling with happiness and relief. "We did it together," he replied warmly. That's what friends are for. The group gathered beneath Bella's nest, basking in the glow of their shared achievement. The forest around them seemed to come alive with celebration. The birds sang joyous melodies, while squirrels chattered excitedly from their branches. Lennox stepped forward, his eyes twinkling with mischief as he began to spin a new tale, one that captured the essence of their adventure and the bonds they had forged along the way. Once upon a time in a forest filled with friends, he began, weaving magic into every word. As they listened to Lennox's story unfold, Sammy felt an overwhelming sense of belonging, a connection that transcended words and actions. Here in Friendship Forest, he had found a family bound not by blood, but by shared dreams and laughter. The sun climbed higher in the sky, bathing the clearing in golden light, as they settled down to share stories and reflect on their journey. Each friend recounted their favorite moments, the laughter they had shared, the lessons they had learned, and together they celebrated the power of teamwork and understanding. Sammy realized that friendship was about more than just helping each other. It was about listening, caring, and growing together through every challenge life presented. As Lennox concluded his tale with a flourish, Sammy looked around at his friends, each one unique yet united by their shared adventure. He knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, with courage, kindness, and unwavering support. And so, with hearts full of joy and spirits lifted by newfound heights, they embraced the promise of new adventures yet to come. For in this place where dreams took flight on wings woven from laughter, where wisdom flowed from ancient souls, where stories spun magic into everyday moments, Sammy had discovered something truly extraordinary. A home built not just on land, but within hearts connected by love. A journey begun not alone, but alongside those who dared dream big dreams together. As the sun began its descent once more, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Sammy knew that every day was an opportunity for new adventures and friendships. And so, with laughter echoing through trees like whispers on wind, they ventured forth into whatever awaited them beyond. United by bonds forged through kindness, guided by lessons learned from challenges faced together, inspired by tales spun from imagination's embrace. In Friendship Forest, a realm where every sound told a story, every mistake was a lesson waiting to be learned, every moment held magic if one only dared look closely enough, Sammy knew that anything was possible when you had friends by your side. Thank you for listening to My Ghostwriter.